Welcome into Fantasy Keys to the Crown, presented by Crown Royal, joined by Marcas Grant, NFL Network's fantasy football guru. I'm Erin Summers. Marcas, there were a lot of surprises in Week 7 and a lot of injuries. What are your biggest takeaways that you're using for some of your decisions this week?
Well, first off, running back continues to be an issue. Unfortunately, we had the injury to Breece Hall, who was playing so well for the Jets, but he has a torn ACL, so he's going to be out for the year. The trade of Christian McCaffrey, him going to San Francisco, definitely a big thing there. We saw both Chuba Hubbard and Deontay Foreman get a lot of opportunity. So I think when you're looking at waiver wire ads, Gus Edwards, who we saw come back and play very well for Baltimore, is going to be near the top of the list. But those two Carolina running backs I mentioned between Hubbard and Foreman are going to be very, very important. And then on top of it, the trade for James Robinson that just happened. I mentioned Breece Hall going down with an injury. The Jacksonville Jaguars then trade their running back James Robinson to New York. So now that sets up a two-headed monster there between Robinson and Michael Carter. So running back right now is very much in flux. And a lot of folks are going to have some tough decisions at the position this week.
Are there any matchups this week, though, that you like for running backs?
Absolutely. You know, I do like Raheem Mostert's matchup against the Detroit Lions. Look, I know the Lions kind of kept the Cowboys in check a little bit last week, but I think that was more about Dak still sort of working his way back in. The Lions still one of the worst teams defensively. They give up a ton of yards on the ground. The Dolphins have really proven that they want to run the football this year, and Raheem Mostert's done a very good job taking over in that backfield. So he's one that's very, very high on my list.
Let's talk quarterbacks here. There's been a lot of changes. We've seen PJ Walker at Carolina. We see a little bit of Bailey Zappi with the Pats. There's been lots of different players in and out. What quarterbacks are you really riding with right now?
Right now, it just feels like there's only maybe 3 or 4 guys that you can really trust on a weekly basis. I mean, like if you've got Josh Allen or Jalen Hurts, Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, those are the guys you feel really super comfortable with on a week-to-week basis. Daniel Jones, I think, has a really nice opportunity this week for the New York Giants because he's running the ball well. We saw Justin Fields on Monday night run the ball effectively for the Chicago Bears, so maybe that gives him a little bit more life. But really, like I said, beyond those top maybe 4 quarterbacks or so, you really are scratching your head every week.
Yeah, Bucks Tom Brady has only hit over 15 points in fantasy twice this season, which is unheard of for him. Not mad about it around here, though. Looking at the Saints' next opponent, they will be hosting the Raiders this weekend. Who do you like for a start, sit, and a sleeper in that one?
Well, I think you're starting Josh Jacobs for the Raiders just because he's been so good. 30 points or more in 3 straight games there. So he's definitely worth a start. I think for the Saints, you're rolling with your normal guys. You're rolling with Chris Olave. You're rolling with Alvin Kamara. But I will say as a sleeper, I like Juwan Johnson. He had 2 touchdowns last week against the Cardinals. I had him as a sleeper then. I think it's another good matchup for him against the Raiders defense that struggles against tight ends. And he is getting targets, especially from Andy Dalton. So I think if you're looking for a sleeper tight end, which a lot of people are right now, Juwan Johnson is a good opportunity.
Marcas, thank you so much for the insight. Always appreciated. For Marcas Grant, I'm Erin Summers. This has been Fantasy Keys to the Crown, presented by Crown Royal.